Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the new Kia Sorento. Now this particular one is loaded up. It's an X-Pro Prestige. But anyways, before we get into this review, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Kia here in American Fork, Utah, for giving me some time with this Sorento. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.5-liter four-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 281 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 20 around town and then 27 on the highway. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, the new design is very boxy. I mean, especially you can see here with the lines, so they do a softer finish on those. And then just like the Telluride, cool amber daytime running lights. That looks fantastic. And then notice how the headlight cluster is more vertical, just like the Telluride. Same thing here with the grille. And then you can see how the trim down below. And I mean, when you put it all together, it really does look like a mini Telluride. And don't worry, in the future, I'll get a comparison with both of them. And then around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235, 65, 17 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see with the wheels completely blacked out, very boxy design again with the wheels. And then we've got all-terrain tires because this one's an X-Pro. And then you guys can see with the fender flare and then the rest of the trim there, very rugged look. And then same thing with that trim piece, it looks pretty cool. Notice the mirror cap's blacked out, all the window trim's also blacked out. And then here's your full side view with the Sorento, which is interesting because you can see the front end looks a little bit boxier than the back end. The back end's more similar to the previous version of the Sorento. And then taking a look at the key fob, we have the Kia logo there, and then this has the cool Kia logo that illuminates yeah, that side there. I've got lock, unlock function, opening for the hatch, remote start as well. So yeah, pretty cool key fob. Now, popping inside, you can see with the third row folded up, not a massive amount of storage space, again, pretty typical of an SUV in this size category. I'll get back in the third row to see what that is like with the new Sorento. You have a little bit of storage underneath, but with the third row folded down, I can say that that is quite a bit of storage space. When you're all done, you can just press this and that will lower the hatch right back down. The new taillight design kind of looks very video game-esque. I think that's a really cool touch. And then you can see with all the badges here on the back, and then I like that trim there at the bottom too. And this caps things off with the rest of the rear. Let me know what you guys think about the new looks, but I think that Kia did a really good job with styling on this new Sorento. Now inside, we've got soft touch here at the top. We've got a sun shade here for the rear passengers, and then you can see with the trim down below, very solid fit and finish and very premium look overall. We do have heated seats here on the back as well. And speaking of seats, look at the trim all down the center portion. And then when it comes to legroom, it's really good. We've got a little storage pocket. We've got vents here in the back, some little charging ports down below. And these seats even have like a recline function. That's pretty cool. But yeah, just like the look of everything in the interior here is very premium. And then when it comes to headroom, it's good. Well, as you can tell with the position of my leg, this is probably the first and the last time I'm ever getting in the back of a Sorento. I mean, it's not the worst. This is pretty typical of the segment, so I'd reserve it for kids. But we do have a USB port back here, and then you can see with the second row, you can fold that down, a little 12 volt as well. I mean, I will say, like, the amount of my body that is in the seat is comfortable. And then headroom, I mean, yeah, I'm touching the top. Now take a look at the front door panel. Again, really nice trim here and down below. And then, yeah, I like the stitching across. This is a cool design. All of our window controls, you got your mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in. Memory seat function, got blind spot warning with the mirrors too. X-Pro there on the seat, perforated all down the center portion. All of our adjustments on the side. Nice finish on the pedals. You've got that to open up the hatch. That's for your stability control. And then there's nice soft touch trim all across the dash as well. And then you can see this. Now take a look at the steering wheel. You can see soft touch all around. We got the stitching there in the center, paddle shifters here in the back for the 8-speed. We have parental controls like adaptive cruise control, steering assist, volume and voice command controls as well. And then you've got your regular stocks here on the back. We've got this big digital gauge cluster here in the center, and fun party trick with it is with the drive modes. So when you change it, it gives you kind of a cool animation with the different modes. So I think that's a fun part of it. But yeah, it'll also show you different bits of vehicle information here in the center, just like, you know, other modern Kias. 360 camera system with this, and we even have the cool exterior shot. Yeah, really good resolution with the camera system. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time is great. I mean, you can see it's pretty much instantaneous. I accidentally clicked something. Oh, ah! Now I don't know what's happening. But anyways, yeah, easy to use. And so, yeah, I'd say they did a good job with the screen. You can see more stitching across the dash, and then again, I don't think this is real wood, but it has a nice kind of like grainy finish to it. And then you got the mega vent design here, and like I like how it goes up on that side. It does the same thing on this side too. It's like all connected. It's pretty cool. We've got the multi-function controls down below, so dual zone climate, and then you can switch it over, and then I'll control radio stuff and everything. So yeah, pretty cool little feature there. Bunch of charging ports down below with the wireless phone charging pad. And then I like this for the heated and cooled seats, how it's like the two different, well, same dial, but controls both seats, and it's on either side. And then we have a real shifter. Look at that, real shifter. Got some cup holders here. And then this is our center locking differential button. So you press that to do that, and then your drive mode select with the rest of the dial. Heated steering wheel has two different stages, which is always a good thing. Auto hold, hill descent control, parking brake, that's for the camera, parking sensors, and then your auto stop start. This actually is a pretty big center console. It's nice. Nice padding again on the top, and then, yeah, pretty normal. Glove box. Got a premium headliner, just like a loaded up Telluride. It's very soft to the touch. And then we actually have a camera, rear view mirror, and then we have a panoramic sunroof. So here's a window sticker for this X-Pro SX-Prestige. I will have reviews on less loaded up ones. I mean, again, this is like as crazy as it gets. Anyways, total MSRP after all options, $49,845. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and real shifter. Let us set off in the new Sorento. So like I said earlier, this is not going to be my one and only Sorento review. I do plan on reviewing more packages on the new Sorento. And then in terms of comparisons, let me know what you guys want to see in the comment section below. I think Sorento versus Telluride would be a good video. I think Sorento versus, I don't know how I'm going to put this together. I'll figure out something, but I think if I could get a new Hyundai Santa Fe, compare that to the Sorento, because they're sibling vehicles, so I think that would be a cool comparison. And then, I mean, outside of that, I know there's a lot of three-row crossovers right out there. So let me know what you guys want to see. You know, do you want to see it versus Toyota, Honda, whatever? Nobody really, I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of automakers don't really make vehicles that technically compete against this. Also, turn signal camera. And the reason why I say that is most of the three-row crossovers or SUVs are going to be bigger, like the Telluride, like the Palisade, whereas this is kind of like a smaller three-row. There's not a lot. Like Mitsubishi with the Outlander, that's like a similar size to this, has a third row. So the Sorento is kind of unique in that respect. So I don't know, I mean, like in terms of, if you guys are wondering in size, like this is similar in size to like a Toyota RAV4, for example. So like that would be a comparison size-wise that might, it's a little bit bigger than the RAV4, but like size-wise would be somewhat logical, if that makes sense. But anywho, let's actually set off here in this Sorento and see how she performs. Turbocharged engine's great. So funny enough, even though this is smaller than the Telluride, it's got better power figures in a way. The Telluride has 291 horsepower. This has 281, so 10 less horsepower. But what this does have over the Telluride is torque. The Telluride's got 262 versus 311 here. You know, turbocharged engines, they always, you know, typically have a little bit more torque. And so, yeah, I would be interested to see. I feel like this might end up being faster than the Telluride because a little bit lighter weight. And so, smooth so far. It's a nice drive. Yeah, power feels really good. Oh, we're lucky we don't have a bunch of people. Transmission's very smooth, but it's quick too. Yeah, that's a really, I like that acceleration feel. It's really nice. Yeah, pretty typical for the segment in terms of road noise and comfort and all that on the highway. But I will say, I think these seats, they did a really good job with the comfort on them. Sizing is nice too. And this interior in general, you just feel like you're in a more premium space compared to like 99% of the vehicles in this segment. Especially with the headliner. It's so like, just go into a Kia dealership and just start touching the headliner. Don't say anything to the salesperson. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's nice. Let's I guess get another entry onto the interstate, and then we'll sum things up here with this new Sorento. I really like that turn signal camera. It's a nice feature. Yeah, and the torque with this engine's really solid. Yeah, this is great from a power perspective. So, summing things up with the new Sorento, this is a big deal, I think, because what Kia's offering in this at the price point they're offering, again, when Kia and Hyundai came out with the Palisade and the Telluride, it really shook things up. Like, you notice post Palisade and Telluride, all the other automakers now have more premium interiors. All of, like, they had to up things because they were losing customers to those. I think this is going to be a similar situation because this is offering a third row for those of you that want a third row. If you don't want a third row, fold it down and boom, you've got tons of storage back there. So it's got a third row for people that want a third row. Premium interior, it's got great power. It drives really well. It looks fantastic. Like, that's a big thing. A lot of vehicles in this segment just look boring. Like, I mean, no offense to Toyota and Honda, like the new RAV4, I think it looks okay, but this, like, I look at this and I go, that's a good looking car. I go, the RAV4, I'm like, that's good looking for a RAV4. This is just good looking, period. So overall, yeah, the new Sorento, they did an amazing job. I think they, no offense to the old Sorento, but like, I feel like they took a car that, in my opinion, wasn't really all that like desirable, and they actually made it desirable. Like, this is a car, and you know, Hyundai's doing the same thing with the Santa Fe, frankly. So let me know what you guys think about this Sorento, but job well done, Kia.